the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is gone. It will be their first year without Rodgers or Favre, and I don't even know how long. Very long time. They did go 8-9 last year, but it was a disappointment. This year, Las Vegas has the Green Bay Packers at 7.5 wins. A lot of questions around them, Ryan. You got them over or under?
The Bears are over here like 8-9. That doesn't sound like a disappointment to me.
It sounds great.
But no, 8-9, this is the most disappointed 8-9 I've ever seen, to be quite frank with you. The line that they opened up at, or what they are currently, 7.5, I think that's absurd. I don't know why it's that high, because I think they go way under here. If they win 5 games, I'll be shocked.
Really? You're that low on them?
Look, I don't have enough evidence to support a Jordan Love being successful and winning games. He's played such a small amount of time, but they didn't do much on offense to help Jordan Love out. They didn't do much. They haven't added one person on offense that I can see here.
Matter of fact, they just lost people. You lost Cobb,
all they did.
Lazard, Tunyon, Aaron Rodgers. So you're bleeding people.
Your starting receiver core left. Your starting quarterback gone. Your defense still there, but you still lost some people on that side. Tell me where you get 7.5 from. Like, if you got money, go put it on the under for Green Bay, because there's no way that they win more than 7.5 games, or 7 games, period, 8 games. There's no way. It doesn't happen. 5 is lucky. They're going to be the Chicago of 2023. That's what they're going to be. Chicago 2022 is going to be Green Bay 2023. That's just what it's going to be. And no fault to Jordan Love. It's just he has nobody to throw the ball to. He is a new guy pretty much stepping into a starting role.
Well, he's got Christian Watson.
Okay, yeah, good, great, fantastic. But he's probably going to lose his job.
Really?
I hope the best for the guy. I don't ever want anybody in NFL or any football player, period, to not do good. I just don't think Jordan Love is the franchise quarterback.
I don't either, because I think if you're a franchise quarterback, you're not sitting for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
And you know what I mean? It's like, we'll see what happens with him. But really, the only sample size we have of Jordan Love is that game he came in against the Eagles last year. And he looked good. That was the thing. He actually looked good in that game. But playing, 2.5, 3 quarters of football is way different than playing a 17-game season where everyone's studying you and you're the quarterback. You said they win 5 games if they're lucky, right? I was a little higher on them than you. I actually put in my notes, they win 7 if lucky, but I agree, under, no way they win 8 games. It's not happening.
It's not, statistically, it's not possible. But this is one of those teams where I would like to actually just walk the schedule out real quick.
But yeah, let's put the schedule up.
So week 1 and week 2, they're opening it, and week 1 and week 2 are both away games. So Chicago, obviously, they lose there, in my opinion. Atlanta, they have a shot to squeak that out. New Orleans, I think, blows them out of the water. Detroit, same thing. At Las Vegas on a Monday night, probably going to lose there. They have an early bye week, which is usually not good. I don't like early bye weeks. I either like middle of the year or end of the year bye weeks, personally. At Denver, Minnesota. I mean, stop me when you hear a win, okay? At Denver, Minnesota, the Rams.
Maybe.
At Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh's going to do a lot better than they did last year, and I think that's a loss there. The Chargers.
Loss.
Detroit.
Loss.
Kansas City, the Giants, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, maybe with Baker Mayfield. Who knows?
So when I looked at it, these are the wins I gave them, and this was me again. Like we said before, we kind of like just say they split the division games. Okay, just even give. I actually think they're probably getting swept by at least one of the teams in the
Minnesota
division,
and Detroit. I think will sweep them, and I think Chicago has a good shot. So
let's just give them the benefit of the doubt, though. Okay, I could see them winning Atlanta, Detroit. Oh, sorry. So let's say the 3 division games. That's 3. Then Atlanta, which is 4. Other than that, maybe the Giants and the Bucks, and I'm just being generous here. Maybe Giants. Carolina. Okay,
the Giants.
Well, I don't think the Giants are going to be great this year, but either way,
they're going to be better than Green Bay,
probably. But okay,
at
Carolina,
the Giants on a Monday night.
Yeah, that's a loss.
That's a straight up loss,
dude. That stretch right there. Let's just say like the Rams. Maybe they'll be back, but then you got at Pittsburgh, Chargers, at Detroit, Kansas City, at the Giants. And then you get some relief with Tampa Bay, but that run right there is going to be enough to derail the entire season.
By the way, at Detroit on Thanksgiving Day, that's a loss. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. There's no way Detroit's losing a Thanksgiving Day game on their own field.
I mean, they almost beat the Bills on Thanksgiving last year. So
why are we bringing up the past?
I had to find a staff.
Why are we doing that?
We're not talking about them.
I
had this point I wanted to make that real quick. You kind of addressed it. The main question, obviously, is Jordan Love. Jordan Love. What is he going to be? I think he's going to be to average. I think you're going to watch him. I don't think he's going to be atrocious. I really don't. I think he's going to be, doesn't excite you, doesn't do anything for you. But just say Jordan Love was good, okay? Even giving him that, I still couldn't find 8 wins because of all the other question marks on the team. You know what I mean? And one of the things I kind of have looked at is I'm intrigued by Matt LaFleur because what's he going to do without Rodgers? A lot of people would say he is one of the best coaches in the league. He's 47-19. This is his moment to prove the doubters wrong. And by the way, I'm kind of one of them. I can't even explain it. I've just never thought he was a great coach. He's made some really boneheaded decisions in big games. Maybe it's because he's walking that tightrope with Rodgers. So that we'll see. Once Rodgers is gone, is he going to be able to change the way he calls them? Because he should call the team differently. It should be completely different. We're going to find out if Matt LaFleur is really a great coach this year. I don't think he's a great coach. I think he's an average coach. I think it will be reflected. So I am curious to see that. But also, I'm more worried about the defense than I am with Jordan Love. Because I look at this, the pass rush was awful. They need consistency from the secondary. Even if Love plays good, it's not going to matter. And Ryan, they did not add anyone. They've got so many deficiencies and positions of need, and they did nothing. They bled players, and all they did was draft. Like, that was it. You got Lucas Van Ness in the first round, and linebacker wasn't even a top concern. They don't have an owner. They're the one team that doesn't have an owner, and because of that, they have no vision. I said when we talked about Chicago, Ryan Poles has a clear vision for this team. Green Bay has none. It's just like someone stumbling around in the dark hoping they find a light switch.
You ever woke up for work late, like an hour and a half, 2 hours late, and you're like, yeah, not going today? You ever done that? I feel like that's how Green Bay's offseason was. Yeah. Somebody just woke up, was like, well, I guess we're not doing anything. We're just going to keep going like this. And that's what they've done. There's nothing that they've added to benefit Jordan Love, to benefit the defense in a big impact way. They added no big impact players. The running game is the only saving grace for the Packers.
Agreed. The running game is like the one thing that you look at and are like, oh, thank God. Because Aaron Jones had 1,100 yards last year. A.J. Dillon, 700 yards. And I'm not as down on the receivers as you. I think Christian Watson's a really good receiver. I mean, in 14 games, he had 7 touchdowns, 600 yards. If he's healthy all year, I think he'll be reliable. Romeo Doubs should improve. They drafted Jaden Reed from Michigan State. I'm okay with the receivers. And they got Musgrave, the tight end from Oregon State. Offensive line's good. So offensively, they've got the pieces. It so to speak, just depending on how Love performs. But as I said, even if he does, the defense is bad, and they did nothing to address it. They were 27th in sacks last year, 23rd in QB hits. They gave up 5 yards per carry to opposing rushers. They allowed 7.4 yards per attempt, so 26 through the air. I mean, they just give up points in big plays, and when you don't add anybody, how am I supposed to think it gets any better?
It doesn't. That's how.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
They didn't want to try to fool you. They just know that this is not going to be a good year. I feel like before the season even started, they're wadding up the paper and throwing it across the room into the trash can. That's how I feel that this organization is being run right now. I think losing Aaron Rodgers, this team hasn't, like you said, it hasn't gone without a star quarterback in so long. I don't know that they know how to operate.
Yeah, I agree. And they have no vision. I don't think they have a plan. I think LaFleur's trying his best, but when you're getting no help, like there's no reason they didn't add some pieces on defense to try and help them. And I'm looking at like the sheet and that we've made out of notes, and there's just nothing, absolutely nothing that excites me about the defense other than like Jair Alexander, a couple guys that have been there. But I don't know, man. I agree. I think it's going to be a wake-up call. So what, even Green Bay fans are probably honest about the situation they're in. As you said, they woke up late for work. They woke up an hour late for work, and they're just like, they're deciding if they're going to call in or rush in disheveled. They're probably rushing in disheveled. What number of wins do they have to have for it to be a successful, use that word carefully, season, for the fans to be happy, or at least be like, okay, it wasn't a total disaster?
2?
Wow.
No, honestly, if I'm a fan, I would say, 7 wins is probably where I'm landing for me to feel like it's a successful season. I feel like Jordan Love is a guy that can take us a little bit further than I anticipated. But I think at the end of the day, as a Packers fan, that you just kind of don't talk to people about your team this year. You just know it's going to be that down year. Please just look over us. Don't look at us. Let me put my head down in shame, and let's just move on and make it to 2024, and let's hopefully get some more pieces in here.